put that one in one. Be careful. Be very careful and put it in another bowl. Put it in another bowl. Be very careful.
Sit it in softly.
Okay.
Very softly.
Okay. I'd like to introduce my friend, Katie Black. Oh, by the way, I'm Rodney. That's the other Rodney. We're known as the Rodney. And we're the stage moms.
That's right. Push it tight, Rod. I wish I
So
had
without further ado, here she is, Katie Black.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys for everyone who came out, and for everyone who just happens to accidentally be here, welcome. For Brittany's dad.
Yes.
Okay, you guys, raise your hand if you're in your 30s or 40s.
Well, what does it feel like?
According to Uber facts, your brain begins to shrink once you hit 30.
I ain't had no brain.
So don't judge, because I'm in my 30s.
I'm 29. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm going to give you some jokes on some news of the week. So, earlier in the week, Kim Kardashian scolded her 8-year-old daughter, Northwest, for going live on TikTok without her permission. The only time in the celebrity's 41 years where she told a camera to go down.
Wow, yeah, right. I think she handled them panties.
Okay, another story. Production of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has partially halted after several members of the cast tested positive for narcissistic personality disorder.
That's the same thing my mama had. All of us had different daddies. So when you got different daddies, you already know which way to go.
Just spell it out, JoJo.
No, you're supposed to have different daddies. I don't know why people mad about having different daddies. I had a great time with my mom.
You'll slow down.
I'm in my element. I'm with Katie. I'm not gonna lie. I want her to know, because I might want to marry her. Anything? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you guys, this is an audience participation. What woman in North Carolina has gone up and down on more citizens?
Probably barking.
Cherry Berry. Cherry Berry!
Cherry Berry.
The elevator, the lady that's in the elevator.
She has
You
retired.
mean like women and losers? No, the elevator lady. Oh, but you still gotta put on some panties. I mean, make sure that they know what you smell like.
We're going.
I mean,
Katie, control it.
Okay.
Captain Crunch don't taste.
Leonardo DiCaprio, this is reported this week, reportedly opposed co-star Meryl Streep's nude scene in the new movie Don't Look Up, telling production, "I will not look up."
In your eye.
Okay, so in between a teaser, we are going to start my version of The Price is Right. So this includes audience participation.
You have to go pick people.
If you guess correct, you do win the prize. Or if you guess closest without going over.
Yes. Correct.
Are you guys ready?
Tell them
Yeah.
to raise their hand. I'm going to point them out.
Go.
Okay, well first of all, we need our first product.
Yes, we got one.
Okay, you guys, and obviously all these items you can find here at Rhino Market. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so who wants to take a guess on this cab right here?
How much it
This
is?
lady right here, raise your hand first.
$16.99.
Okay?
Ooh.
Anybody else?
$11.99.
Okay.
$17.94?
$12.99.
Anybody else, or is that it?
Don't say $1. It's Price is Right.
$9.99.
Okay, we got it.
Okay, and the final price is $17.99.
There you go.
Nice.
And if you need a car, this guy works at where?
Yeah, it's Scott Carr. Hey, you better put him on the podcast, baby. He's ride or die. That's right. Give him a hold.
Oh, wait, this one's in.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay, so next up is the hot sauce.
And he played middle linebacker with the damn Saints.
Okay, so you guys, this is Michael's Exotic pepper. So this is hot.
$4.
$1. I got $1 here, Katie. $1. $1.
$9.
$9.
$1.
Hold on.
$19 for hot sauce?
Anybody else?
$5.99.
Final price is $12.11.
She wins, and she also has the best color hair.
Man, she's sharp in the back.
She took mine.
She ain't no joke. She win the duty, run.
Okay, you guys, next up. Halfway through, Queen City Poppin'. Anyone wants to guess the price of the popcorn? You gotta raise your hand.
$2.99.
$2.99. Come on now, let's guess some.
Dad, you guess.
Oh,
You guess.
say give it.
You guess, Dad.
Give it. Where they at, big
Dad,
man?
Go ahead.
Anybody else wants to guess on the popcorn?
$3. Okay, $5. Okay.
Anyone else? Final call.
$6.99.
He wins it. It's $5.99.
There it goes. Hey, don't eat it yet. Save it for next Christmas.
Okay, you guys,
All right,
second
big
to
guy.
last.
Big guy.
It's a bear cookie right here,
A pear cookie.
right?
She said $1.
Anybody
No.
else?
Oh, come on. $4.99.
Go ahead. $3.29. We got $1, $3.29.
There you go. How much?
$2.99.
He gets it.
Who got it?
Give me that cookie back here.
Where?
With his hat turned backwards.
Ah!
Welcome. Noda.
Them Bay City roller pants. Love it.
Okay, so I'm gonna pass on my turn. Okay. Welcome. So first off, Charlotte. So tell people how long you've been here and what do you think of it?
So I have been in Charlotte since May 30th. I moved here from Knoxville, Tennessee. Kind of came here for more job opportunities and more drag opportunities, and I haven't stopped performing weekly since I moved here. So, kind of great city, lots of opportunities.
Do you like it? What do you think of it?
You know, at first I was very intimidated because growing up in Tennessee, especially in the Knoxville area, Knoxville doesn't really have suburbs like Charlotte. Charlotte, you know, you've got Plaza Midwood to learn, you've got Noda, you have the South End, you've got South Park. So coming here, I was very intimidated. I was like, I'll never learn the city. You know, I'll never figure this out. 6 months in, I pretty much know my way around now. And I love the city. You know, my favorite area would probably be South End. It's more modern and hip.
And you got a high and tight haircut.
Yes. And I get that in South End.
Plug it. So where did you grow up and what was it like?
So, I mentioned Knoxville, but I grew up in a small town called Rutledge, Tennessee, in Granger County. If you've ever heard of it, we sell Granger County tomatoes, and they're known pretty much in every state surrounding Tennessee. But it was a town full of about 1,500 people. My dad was the chief of police for 13 years. My granddad was the mayor of the town for 19 years. And growing up in a small town, people knew everything about you. So when I decided to do drag, I got out of there. Because they did not need to be in my business.
Right.
Do you
But
miss
you didn't
it?
grow up in West Virginia.
I miss bits and pieces about home. It's nice to go home like every few months, but I don't miss the small-mindedness. In Charlotte, like there's a lot more open-minded people. The people don't really care
About how you live.
who you are or what you are. They just,
Right.
you're a human to them. So it's nice. living here, but just going back home to visit. I'll actually be back home next week, but I can't take it for more than about 5 or 6 days. Like, I don't last a week there. I need to make it back home. So, but will I miss it? I mean, yes and no. Yes and no.
That's great.
So I would ask this of people, are you an 80s baby, a 90s baby? What generation are you?
I think I would be a Generation X, because I was born in 1997, so I'll be 25 in February. Most people will be like, oh my god, you're 25, you're young. But I was raised with all of my sister's friends, and she's 35, so I like to consider myself more of a millennial, because I have more of a mature mindset.
For sure. So what's your 20s been like so far?
Most people would say their 20s were experimental. Mine were more of like trials. Because when I kind of discovered who I was about 18, 19-ish. And the last couple years of my teens, that's when I was experimenting, kind of figure out life. But then the 20s was spent learning about my hometown, learning to get out of there. Moving around different places in Tennessee before, I made it here. So it was a lot of figuring out more about myself, fighting my own battles, because I was no longer under the shelter of my parents and the shelter of my family. So it's been, like I said, kind of like trials and tribulations, but I feel like I finally figured out what I am, who I am, and where I need to be.
Very cool. So
when they announced the auditions for RuPaul's Drag Race, I was like, why not? I have nothing better to do. Let's see how far I could get. I had never auditioned before, and that was actually the only time I've auditioned.
Wow.
But I had 2 music videos that I had filmed for a virtual competition that I competed in. Started out on stage in person called Knoxville Drag, modeled after RuPaul's Drag Race, and that I actually won. But I had 2 music videos, and I was like, okay, how can I put these to use? And in the Drag Race auditions, you are required to submit music videos, live performance videos, a video of yourself kind of doing the Snatch Game, which is a version of the game show called Match Game, where drag queens do impersonations of famous celebrities. So I did Lucille Ball, and I submitted my audition tape. I used the 2 music videos that I had in store, and believe it or not, my application was received. I got the first email saying that I was being looked into, and they were going to start checking my social media, and they were going to start seeing what my presence was like, and I would go through an interview process. So a producer contacted me. I went through 1 round of interviews. We had a conversation over the phone about an hour and a half long. A week later, I had a 2nd round of interviews, and in that interview, they kind of explained to me that unfortunately I didn't have a big enough social media presence yet, but that I was very entertaining, and that they would let me see the audition again. So I've been working on building my social media presence and kind of branding myself online. And hopefully when I audition next time, I will get even farther.
very cool. Congrats, by the way. And do you come into contact with RuPaul, or that's once you're on the television?
That's once you're on. You don't really come in contact with RuPaul even through the interview process. I have friends that have been on RuPaul's Drag Race. The bar that I used to work at in Tennessee was called New Beginnings, and Eureka O'Hara, who is actually the star of HBO's We're Here, was on Housecast. She grew up in Johnson City. So you actually don't meet RuPaul until you get on the show. Usually when they start day 1 of filming, that's when you meet RuPaul, when he walks into the workroom.
Up here.
There you go. Love it.
So, where do you begin? Tell us everything.
Should I stand?
Whatever you're coming out.
That's the girl.
Alright, so this right here, if you can't see it, it is a about 6-inch tall statuette of a clown sitting sort of upside down in a gymnast type position with a monkey on his ass and feet. It's very brightly colored, pink and seafoam green with some purple. I found it at a flea market in Gaston County, I think a month ago, and I don't know, it's the most brightly colored thing in my house right now. I mean, that might be a lie, but, it's right next to my TV, and so I get to see it all the time. But I think that because like I remember the reason that I bought it was because the story behind this and the booth that I bought it from was pretty interesting.
Wow.
Thanks, Joe.
I don't know what I would do if I didn't see you. Maybe I'll run around and chase parked cars.
Chase parked cars.
All right. So the woman selling this, she told me, well, her booth was filled with maybe like 3 dozen other clown statuettes. If you can believe it, a lot of clowns. And so I asked her about it. Apparently.
Quick Wikipedia of the name that we just dropped. I need the clown connection. And end on that note.
Okay. End on that note, you're trying to sour my impression of clowns. Yeah.
No, Katie with you. Katie girl now. Don't.
All right. Well, John Wayne Gacy was I mean, if you haven't heard of him, he's a serial killer from like, I don't know, several decades ago, who, you know, his profession was a clown.
He didn't wear no diapers.
Oh. Yeah, you can look more into that if you want to.
He didn't wear no diapers.
He basically like he dresses as a clown. He like enticed like mainly children and stuff into his house and killed them. Like that's not all clowns.
I know. He was always wintergreen.
Yeah, he's not. Don't give a fuck about John Wayne Gacy. There's nobody else like him. All the clowns are good. All right, that's it.
Wait, and I guess my final, since I have you up here, is Charlotte. So I know you kind of sort of just moved here, and I want to know your thoughts.
Charlotte? I'm gonna move out in like a year. That's my thoughts.
You're leaving?
Yeah.
Where you going? Texas?
No. I don't know, either like Virginia or Arizona.
No, go to West Virginia with me. I'll put you in a homage.
That sounds nice. Talk to me later about it.
Each other because I actually worked for the CIA for a while, and he was one of my very best informants, actually. So that's actually how we first met, and it's just been kind of like a beautiful relationship that blossomed since
Tell
then.
me y'all met telling lies.
Did you guys meet in Charlotte?
North Carolina?
Yes.
Yes.
And so, what do you guys think of Charlotte?
It's a city.
Yeah.
It's a growing city. More people are moving here every day. And there's a lot of buildings every day, too.
Grant, any thoughts on Charlotte?
There are lots of apartment buildings. We love apartment buildings. Shout out apartment buildings.
Y'all look like friends.
How you guys started this Siamese twins. Tell me how you guys got connected through music and said, let's do a band.
Y'all need whistles. Y'all need something to blow. Yeah, y'all look.
Come on over there.
I will.
Well, we've been playing music together for quite some
I
time.
love y'all. I got whistles.
And
Hey, love you, baby.
we used to play together as boys, and we play together now as men.
That's right. Don't stop at CVS.
Very cool. So when you guys are on stage, what happens? Do you leave your body? Do you focus on someone in the audience?
Damn, they look like brothers. Are y'all twins? They really do. They look like cups and cups.
What happens when we're on stage, man?
Damn.
What happens when we're on stage is, well, you know, it's a great time for everybody involved, you know, it's a good vibes. We love to put on a fun performance, and it comes from a lot of love, you know. We all love each other very much, and that's where,
And that's
the
a
music
beautiful
comes from.
Yeah, y'all good.
It's love. It's all love. We're good brothers. We've been brothers our whole lives. Since I was born, he was my brother.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any people that like want to be your friends for the wrong reasons?
I do. I'll be your friend.
It seems like
You want to be my friend for the wrong reason, could you?
Dude, oh no, you leave Katie alone.
What are your reasons?
I'll bring Katie around.
I don't know. Tell me your experiences.
I don't ask him that.
Any experience ever? Wow.
Give it to a big boy. Tell her when the wind blows, don't let.
Alright, here's an experience. One time I was in the cabin with my family. I was a kid and I brought one of my friends with me. And we went to the movies that night. And we got a lot of popcorn, a lot of buttery popcorn.
That no counseling efforts will be able to repair her third marriage to Kanye. Kanye West reportedly responded, "How could you be so heartless?" Okay guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you to Rhino Market. Thank you to everyone here. Along the way. And stay tuned.
Thank you, Katie Black. You're amazing. Thank you, love.
I love you.